All right, so now this is our second installment here at In the Circle as we break down the all-quarter century lists. This time, we're going to break down the Power Conference top hitters. Last episode, recently, we broke down the top pitchers from the group, the non-power conferences. This time, we're going to go power hitters, and this is one that's been a very hot topic. We even when we had Jenna, me and Jenna broke it down. We agreed this was definitely the most controversial category of all of them because there were so many talented hitters. So you're definitely going to leave some good ones out. I know there's a couple you like that felt, so we'll get into all that here, and I'll try to address some of those, and we'll try to kind of give you some answers. So some of you have still been responding, which is awesome. People have been enjoying this. Make sure you follow the lists on d1softball.com. By the way, more quarter century content coming out next week. So, and boy, you thought people were chatting now. They're going to be chatting more later. But Vic, all right, let's get into it. Let's first tell the audience, for those that may have missed it, who are the 25 hitters of the all-quarter century from the Power Conference? With Amanda Lorenz from Florida. I think she's pretty good. I think we know her, don't we?
Mandy Softball, yes, we do.
As I call her, the best hitter in the world, in honor of CM Punk. Kelly Kretschmann of Alabama. Brittany Lasreps of Arizona. Caitlin Lowe. Kristen Rivera of Washington. Lauren Chamberlain of Oklahoma. Haley McClenny of Alabama. Madison Shipman, Tennessee. Maya Brady, UCLA. Jessica Mendoza of Stanford. Jesse Harper of Arizona. Jesse Warren of Florida State. Maya Davidson of Mississippi State. Natasha Watley of UCLA. Jocelyn Allo of Oklahoma. Savannah Jaquish of LSU. Shelby Penley of Oklahoma. Caitlin Cochran of Arizona State. Casey Cooper of Auburn. Caitlin Boyd of Arizona State. Sierra Romero of Michigan. The great Stacy Newman of UCLA. Tiari Jennings of Oklahoma. Caleb Bro of Alabama. Veronica Nelson of Cal. First thoughts here, Vic, on that list.
Well, Eric, here's the thing. When I was following and watching softball as I was getting involved in the sport when I was in college, these were the names that I really started understanding, like the Caitlin Lowe, the Haley McClenny's, the Jessica Mendoza's of the world, the Caleb Bros. And of course, with this last decade, you have your Penleys, your Chamberlains, your Allos, your Shipmans, and now you have Mia Davidson, Tiari Jennings, Sierra Romero. I think, Eric, you can make a case for 25 other hitters that did not make this list. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, when D1 softball comprised these lists, one player could only be allowed on one list. So a lot of people who are chirping about
let's get that cleared away, because there were some people that were like, hey, how come there's no hitters from a non-power conference go? Well, the reason is because we did a category for the non-power conference hitters, which, by the way, we'll break down on the next episode, and you can check it out on d1softball.com. I saw that, like Sammy Marshall, for example, our good friend of Western Illinois, flipped out about it, and so it's like, no, just patience, people, patience. So that's part of it. Here's what makes this a tough category. It's you can make the argument it's the most subjective category of all of the five.
Yes.
Why? Because how do you, for example, Victor, evaluate a slap hitter versus a power hitter? Some people prefer the power. In fact, there's some, like Davidson is the all-time home runs leader in the SEC. But then how do you not have a Natasha Watley, who we both covered, or Caleb Bro, or Caitlin Lowe, who are some of the greatest slap hitters? So I think we all try to balance a mix of both.
Yeah.
But that creates a tougher list, right? And think about this. How fortunate, for example, a Lauren Hager would be on this category, except she's on the two-way list. Otherwise, there would even be more hitters. Valerie Arioto. If you're wondering, where's Valerie Arioto? She's on the two-way list. So think there's even more great
Kalani
hitters.
Ricketts. A lot of people were chirping about Kalani Ricketts. She was on the two-way list.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I would say you could there's probably about 100 hitters you can make a case for this, but it's only got to be 25. It's only got to be 25. Yep. So I want people to keep that in mind as we go through this, as they start chirping a little bit. And by the way, one of our loyal Oklahoma fans that tunes in is talking about, where are all the Sooners? I'm like, what are you?
We got 4.
What are you? Yeah.
And you can make the argument.
Yeah.
Those are deep. If we talk about pure hitters, not those who are two-way, you can make the argument those are the 4. Henley, Chamberlain, ELo, Jennings. And for those of you, and again, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to say this repeatedly. If you want to put someone on the list, you have to take someone off the list. All right, a lot of people saying Jada Coleman. Who are you taking off for Jada Coleman?
Or Shea Knighton. Or
Shea Knighton.
Shea Knighton. Look, and that's going to happen. And that's not including a Kalani Ricketts, who we have on the two-way list. That's not including a Paige Parker, who's just a pitcher we had on the pitcher list. So there's like 6 Sooners. Vic, that might be something we may have to do in the future episode. You may have to do a count, because I know you got some traveling you're doing the next couple of weeks. Maybe on those travels, maybe you count how many representatives from each school there were represented on these categories. That would be kind of just to receive there. So
give context.
That's it. So anyway, that being said, look, I know there are people that there's some names to be brought up. So Victor, what is your? Well, give me some thoughts here. Who are some people that you think has and I think Jenna put it correctly, has an argument, not necessarily got snubbed, but has an argument.
When the voice of the current reigning defending national champions chirps in, Andrew Haynes says it is an abject failure of, however, this was put together that Janae Jefferson is not included here.
So Janae Jefferson was considered. She was on the list. I consider her for the ballot as well. First of all, again, you're only voting 25. And I think something to also, by the way, something to keep in mind. Janae Jefferson. Some players are just all around great players. Doesn't mean they were one of the 25 best hitters. I'm not saying that's not Jefferson. I'm just saying when I think of Jefferson, I think of the all around talent players. Now, here's my counter to this, Vic, because I actually brought this up. And maybe this could be one of the storylines going into next season. Are we sure Janae Jefferson is the best hitter in Texas softball history? Because I think I could think of a current Longhorn that might have an argument to that, who I actually brought up in my ballot, and that was Reese Atwood. No active players made the hitters list. That was not the case in the pitchers.
No.
We'll get to that down the road. But I made the case for Reese Atwood, who right now is shattering. He's going to shatter all the home run RBI records. Who would be better, Atwood or Jefferson? And that's, I think, part of the reason. Now, look, I think Jefferson has a case. I'm not suggesting Andrew's wrong. I think Jefferson has a case to be on this. As you mentioned, Vic, let me know who you're taking out, number one. But number two, I am curious, with Reese Atwood coming into her senior year, if Reese Atwood, think about this, Victor. If Reese Atwood has another year, this upcoming year, like she has the last couple of years, not only is she going to be an All-American again, she's probably going to be a top 5 player in the country for a 3rd straight year. Remember, she was a top 3 finalist for National Player of the Year 2 years ago. Last year, I would argue if we the breakdown, she was the 2nd best offensive player, arguably, in the sport, behind only Brie Ellis, who won National. If it wasn't for Brie Ellis, I think Atwood would have been a finalist for National Player of the Year again. So that is my only counter to that. Not saying that the Jefferson argument is not valid, but that's my counter. What do you think of that counter argument on that?
Well, I have no problem with it, Eric. And again, to your point, Janae Jefferson, just the numbers and the all-around play is ridiculous. So, but again, ladies and gentlemen, Janae Jefferson, who are you taking off of this list? And please don't say it's Sooner because she's from Texas. Who are you taking off this list?
I got no answers for you there, Vic. You tell me.
Now, I do also because the big one, Jefferson was the main one that we've received.
And that's fair. By the way, she got votes. I mean, I don't have an official like ballot how all the voting turned out, but I wouldn't be surprised if the totals, she probably was top 30. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me.
Now Camden said no Jada Coleman. Wow. So we replied, we would like to hear who would you take off the list. Camden replied, the fact that there's a single player from the only team to four-peat is a travesty. Take whoever the heck you want off. Jada not being there is a complete and utter joke.
Wait. Tiari Jennings is on the list. She was on that 4-peat.
Proof, ladies and gentlemen, that people don't read.
So that's not accurate. Tiari Jennings. By the way, if we had an all-quarter century defensive team, probably
she's on there.
That list. Right.
Heck, she may be the captain of that team.
But I'm not sure she would make it over a Shea Knighton, for example. I mean, again, Now, if we did an all-quarter century Oklahoma team, yeah, Coleman would be on it. But
we would need Chris Plank for that one. Oh, well, this plays New Yorker. He understood the exercise. He would put Jada Coleman in and take out Maya Brady. He says, in clutch moments, the greatest show up.
I think Maya Brady has been clutch and then some, and I think that family has a history of being clutch. I'm not going to question a Brady and clutch.
No, that is sacrilege.
And by the way, I would argue,
yes, sir,
of the last decade, 10, 15 years, I would argue Maya Brady's the best hitter in UCLA softball. Pound for pound.
Just straight hitter? Just straight hitter.
Pound for pound. Can do everything. Power, hit. She's special. So I don't agree with that. Now, I want to bring up a couple things. Newman and Kretschmann are on this list, even though they only played they were like, I think they were like 99-02 or 98-1. Don't quote me right now, top of my head. My point is they didn't play a 4 years in college. I think they were either 2 or 3 years, but
as long as you play softball starting in the 2000 season, you were eligible to be on the list.
And I think we would both agree we have no issues with them being on the list because they were, and then some. I mean, they were to them. I still think Kretschmann to me is still the greatest Alabama hitter of all time. And I think Newman, you could argue, is the greatest UCLA hitter of all time. That's why I stopped short of saying Maya Brady best quarter century hitter. I don't know. Newman is. But I think Brady is right there. I mean, watching her was unbelievable. So no, I don't. This is the all around pound for pound best hitter, and Maya Brady absolutely deserves to be on this list.
Eric Johnson quote tweeted D1 softball. No Skylar Wallace. The thing with Wallace is that
wow.
I think the fact that Skylar had a phenomenal run in Florida. But it was like, 2 years? What, she went 2-3 years in Florida?
Well, no, here's the thing. What's funny, it's funny. And by the way, don't get us wrong. I love this feedback. Just keep sending feedbacks to In the Circle SB, etc. I love the fact we're reacting, and I'm loving the fact, Victor, you're reading off a lot of these. So I'm going to be real upfront and honest with you here. I originally had Skylar Wallace on my ballot.
Really?
Like 25. However, I mean, because Wallace was awesome. Love watching Wallace. And I think if it was just Skylar Wallace's Florida career, I think there's an argument there. Because if you look at just her Florida career, her numbers are right there with Amanda Lorenz. And you can make that case for, there. However, where did she start her career?
Alabama.
You look at her Alabama numbers, not as good. That kind of took a dent. You know what I mean?
It's just like enough of a dent
to say, trust me though, that is not a bad player to have. Like, I wrestled with that. I really did. I think I ended up having her 27, 28. And here's the other thing. like, can I put her ahead of a Francesca Anea, for example, who we both covered? I covered for a long time, who to me is a Gator Hall, not only a Gator Hall of Famer, to me, she's under consideration for Mount Rushmore of Florida. Like, when you think Florida softball, she is it. One of the great power hitters, overcome a significant injury. I think Florida just posted a recent tweet about she's the all-time leader in grand slams hits. Maybe that was their case of making an argument for her on this list, which I understand. So, again, there's a lot of great Gator hitters. We haven't even brought up a Megan Bush, for example.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I love Skylar. Skylar was unbelievable and certainly had a case. And I almost pulled the trigger there. I did not. I think the Alabama year, dented her. And again, I want to emphasize, this is all nitpick nonsense. All right? Because that's what you got to do when you do these type of lists. So when I say, Alabama year kind of, dinged her a little bit, that's nitpicking. She has nothing to be like. She's an awesome player, like easily. And again, you can make that argument for her. And I think I went back and forth on that one. So that's a very good name.
Well, enough. We'll stick with it's great to be a Florida Gator.
I'm just speaking, and I want to state for the record, I'm speaking for myself. I can't speak for the rest of the people that voted because obviously, how do I know, right? I'm not going to speak on their behalf. I'm just speaking what I was thinking as I sent in my names. That's all. I want to clarify that as well, Vic.
Speaking with Florida Gators, P. Rocha tweeted at D1 Softball, "Where's Kelsey Stewart?"
We just had this conversation. Stewart's another name. But again, are you putting her over a Stewart? You got Francesca Anea. You got Megan Bush. How about Michelle Moultrie? Let's just throw Michelle Moultrie in there.
Moultrie, I think, is the most underappreciated Gator of all time.
Yeah, Olympian. I mean, there's a ton of Gators you can make a case for. I can't deny that.
Okay, so we have another tweet. Carolina RN25, Abby Cheek.
Just got into the Kentucky Hall of Fame. Good choice. My counter is, I would argue Kayla Kowalik's the better Kentucky hitter of all time. That would be my pick if I had to pick a Wildcat.
Yeah.
We're not even talking Aaron Koffel either, or Brittany Cervantes. See what I mean? There's a lot of names. Like, it's hard enough figuring out who's the best hitter in a specific school, let alone narrowing down a list with hundreds of schools. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's it. I will say this. I ended up going Lorenz. I did vote Lorenz because, and I mentioned this to Jenna in the when we broke down the entire list. Amanda Lorenz is one of a handful of hitters that I've ever seen, Victor, in person covering, where I'm generally shocked that she didn't get it when she doesn't get a base hit. That's how good she is. Alo's another one. Alo is in that list as well.
Yeah.
Where you're shocked that they've got an out. Like, really? Like, if I see Lorenz go over, it's like, that's impossible. That must have been a scoring error. Like, what? Like, that's how good she was. So
there was a stat when I think towards the end of her career where she reached base 98% of the games that she played as a Florida Gator. That is ridiculous.
Beautiful swing, beautiful mechanics. We've had Tim Walton on this show for many, many years. It's not an accident when we compare, we talk about a great player. Usually Lorenz's name comes up.
Yep. One of the first names that comes up. We got some more. Josh Sabraki says, no Sid Romero. Grr. Now, Kevin Thames did counter. He says, while I'd love to see Sid on this list, unless you can convince me with stats, she is better than several of us on here. It looks pretty fair to me. Thank you, Kevin.
I mean, Sierra's on the list.
We do have Romero on there.
And again, how many shooters have we brought up already that didn't make the list? Knighton,
we got
Coleman,
4 on the list.
Yeah.
And Coleman and Knighton certainly have a strong case. I mean,
yeah.
Kayla 70888 says, including Maya Brady, but not Skylar Wallace is criminal. Okay. No, Eric, listen to Eric. I want you to listen to this comment because when you hear who is referenced, it's crazy. if someone would tweet at D1 softball and says blank is way overrepresented, you would think who? Oklahoma, right?
I'm curious,
SDM
man.
Sports says Alabama way overrepresented.
On this category?
Yes.
Wait, who do we have for Alabama again? Bro,
Let's
we got
see.
Bro. We got
Kelly Crutchman. We have Caleb Rowe. We have Haley McClenny. And you can make the argument in terms of Alabama hitters. That's 3 of the 4 Mount Rushmore right there.
Yeah, I actually
So
think
I don't understand.
Bro is maybe one of the best slap hitters ever. I mean, Kelly Crutchman. Do we really need to debate Kelly Crutchman? I don't think we need to
Kelly
debate
Crutchman speaks for herself. Haley McClenny speaks for herself.
McClenny, you would argue, was the best hitter in the last Olympics for Team USA, and maybe during that period was the best hitter in the one of the best hitters in the world, if not the best hitter in the world. Like, I would argue Lorenz has taken the mantle from Haley McClenny as far as best hitter in the world. So that's I disagree. Wow. Now there might be some other categories where I might agree with you in Alabama, and it has nothing to do with the quarter century. But Vic already discussed that. That broke that down way back in the episode. So I don't want to touch on that subject.
No, we ain't going there. We ain't going there. We're not going there. We are not going there.
Just in, boys.
We did get some love. There is some love. Louis J 921571, retired U.S. Air Force veteran. Thank you so much for your service. Says fair list.
What a concept!
I know
people actually compliment. By the way, this is not easy. I swear, there's not easy.
This is not, folks. I need y'all to understand. This is not an easy exercise. Eric gave his recommendations. He wasn't even the one to put together the 25.
I have names that didn't make it. That was discussed. All right, ready?
Please share.
Hannah Flippin, Utah. Elisa Goller, Georgia. No Bulldogs. That was shocking. But
which means Kristen Sandberg as well.
No Megan Wiggins. But again, which one are you picking? And I think sometimes, Victor, and I don't know if this happened on purpose. Again, I'm just speaking for myself. You wonder sometimes when you're voting this stuff, do certain players from the same schools maybe cannibalize themselves from time to time?
Cancel each other out?
Like the Georgia Bulldogs, did they cancel each other out, and as a result, nobody got in? I don't know. I just don't know. But that I know I had that problem with. Like, which one are you picking? How about a Chelsea Bramlett, for example? Another one. Example. Deja Mulipula, Arizona. You can make a case. Hell, there's other Wildcats on this that didn't make it. Stacey Chambers of Arizona didn't make it, who's up there power number wise. How about Tyra Flowers? There were some big people making a case. I know that for Flowers, didn't make it on the list. Think about players like our very own Alex Powers at FSU, the doubles queen, before it was broken by Sydney Sherrill of FSU. A couple other cases there. Some people, even Mississippi State. You mentioned we have Mississippi State. What about McMichael, who was one of the greats at Mississippi State? How about Sam Martin, Ohio State? Tori Vidalis, Texas A&M. Lauren Gibson, Tennessee. Some people would argue she's the best Tennessee hitter, a little bit better than Shipman. Shipman, though, SEC Player of the Year, really just polished as it gets.
Yes.
Beautiful mechanics. Again, unbelievable talent. Helped them get to the National Championship Series back in 2013 at Tennessee. Janae Jefferson was on this list. I'm looking at it right now. How about Janie Takeda of Oregon, Vic, who's an Olympian?
Yes.
Right? Nicole Barber, there's a Bulldog. Bailey Hemphill, Alabama, speaking of Crimson Tide. I mean, Amanda Chittister, Vic, of Michigan.
Yes.
Those are just some of the other names. That's not even the full list, man. I mean, I can keep going, Vic, but we got to get going. But Bailey Klingler, Maga, Arizona.
Tatiana Maga, who was once the home run queen. So.
But again, there's only 25. And here's the thing, right? You switch it, then now the person that is currently on the 25 that's not has a gripe too. Either way, you're going to get gripes.
You're gonna get grievances no matter what you do on the exercise.
That was just a small sample of names that were under consideration, as well as the names that we have already brought up. What would you do? What would you do, Vic? Anything you would add from your perspective here before we wrap it up?
But the thing is, Eric, when you have a list like this, you're obviously going to have gripes and grievances. You know what? There's one name that I don't think we bring up a lot. Jen Saling.
Probably no more for her defense, but solid.
True.
Yeah.
Fair. And I know a lot of people are going to mention Danielle Laurie. She's on a 2A list as well. But at the end of the day, this is what the committee came up with. Are there gripes? Are there disagreements? Yes. But unless you can give a strong, convincing argument to take someone off this list and put, say, a Janae Jefferson, a Skylar Wallace, a Kelsey Stewart, a Janie Reed, Bailey Hemphill. If you can give me a strong argument to put one of them on this list, hey, this is the list. And if you got a problem with it, come up with your own 25 and let people argue with you about that.
Hey, you want to give them another reason to argue? Bring back Vic. Let's bring in Victor A's list here. That's right. Bringing Victor's A list, Vic. We both are going to pick 5 of these hitters. Oh, baby, they're going to be agitated.
Oh, boy.
All right, it's your game, Vic. Explain the rules, Vic. It's your game.
So with the Victor A list, which we need to come, I need to come up with a more clever name than the Victor A list.
You own the rights to it. Just please don't be dogging LeBron James every chance you get over every little detail. But anyway, my bad. That's another A Smith.
No. This one gives LeBron James credit, except when he left Miami. Anyway, the A list is each of us have to pick our 5 hitters from the top 25. Now, if you listen to our last episode, I had the first pick, which means, Mr. Lopez, I will bestow upon you the honor of having the first pick in our Victor A list. So Eric will go first. I will pick my next 2 in snake draft order, and then Eric will pick his 2 until we have our 5. So, Mr. Lopez, you have the floor with your first pick of your top 25 power hitter A list.
All right. I will go with the home run queen herself, Jocelyn Alo, Oklahoma, with my first pick.
All right. Well, that means I will get the next 2. So I will take Lauren Chamberlain. And then with my second pick, I will go with her teammate on that 2013 Oklahoma team, Shelby Penley. You said it, Eric. On past podcasts, Chamberlain and Penley were the Roof and Gehrig of softball. And
other people, it was not my first. I didn't claim it. Others have claimed that, including our friend Graham Hayes was, I think, the first to claim that.
Yes,
back when he worked at ESPN. But it's pretty valid. Pretty valid. Why they're both on the list. Good choice.
You're up with your next 2.
All right, I'm going to break the Sooner streak. And I'm going to go with the one who I have, again, proclaimed. You know, everybody knows my favorite wrestler is CM Punk. What's CM Punk known for? He likes to say he's the best in the world. Right?
Yes.
In my view, she is the best in the world in hitting. The best in the world, Amanda Lorenz.
All right. So you have one more pick, sir?
And then I'm going to go with Stacey Newman. UCLA. Right. Who was the home run queen until Lauren Chamberlain came and then Jocelyn Alo came.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so I got 2. I I'm gonna need some speed in my line in my 5. So I will go with Caitlin Lowe from Arizona. And then I will go next with This is the thing about an exercise like this, because when you have to pick out of this list, I will take Jessica Mendoza.
Oh,
You think I was gonna let that one slide now, did you, Mr.
I was
Lopez?
debating Mendoza Newman. Oh, my favorite hitter. That'll dream theme too.
For those of you who are listening to our podcast, the look of anguish on Mr. Lopez's face right now is chef's kiss.
It's a good
For
thing.
those of you watching us on YouTube,
I mean, I'm okay. I mean, I'm good. Me and my friend Newman, we become friends. But I love Mendoza. That's a good pick. Yeah, I mean, they're all good picks. Let's who we kid.
And all good picks. They're all good. There's no such thing as a bad pick with this list.
This is true. All right, put the list back on. I got to regroup here though. How many picks do I have now? How many picks?
So you got 2 more picks. You already have Amanda Lorenz, Jocelyn Allo, and Stacy Newman. So you got 2 picks left.
All right. I'm shocked. I'm genuinely shocked you didn't pick this player. You know what? You're going to take my favorite softball Olympian hitter ever? I'm going to take your favorite softball Olympian hitter ever, Natasha Watley. There. Our good friend, Natasha Watley. Yeah, that was your favorite player. I thought you were going to pick Watley. Anyway.
I was hoping she would come back around for my last pick.
What are you, crazy? What are you, crazy? Ain't no way.
Well, you're the one who thought Jessica Mendoza was going to slip to you in this spot.
I figured, he's going to take Watley. You and I have talked. I remember we've had car rides when we covered the Pride games, and you were excited to see Watley and Lowe. I thought you were going to reunite Watley and Lowe.
I would, but I realized, wait, I got Mendoza here. Okay. So you have one more pick, and I get the last pick.
All right. I'm going to go with my last pick. Oh, it's just, there's a lot of options here. Why did we come up with this idea again, Vic?
You're the one that said we wanted to do a Victor A-list. I had nothing to do with this.
Oh, my
It was your idea, so blame yourself.
Fair. All right, I will take Kelly Kretschmann.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that, which leaves me with my last pick. I will take Sierra Romero. Thank you, sir.
Man, there's some good players that didn't get picked. What are we doing?
We're looking like a bunch of dope.
No matter who we pick,
those calls you're hearing on my phone are from Club Farrington because we didn't pick a Sun Double. You're getting calls from Stark Vegas with us not picking Mia Davidson. We're gonna get a buzz on line 1 from Brian Rice in Knoxville because we didn't pick Madison Shipman. And our people in the Pacific Northwest ain't going to be too happy with us for not picking Kristen Rivera. So, to recap our Victor's A-list for our non-Power 5, as Eric's looking at his messages right now, Eric has Jocelyn Allo, Amanda Lorenz, Stacy Newman, Natasha Watley, Kelly Kretschmann. I selected Lauren Chamberlain, Shelby Penley, Caitlin Lowe, Jessica Mendoza, and Sierra Romero. Stay tuned on our Inner Circle socials. We are going to put a poll where you will get to vote which one of us had our best Victor A-list.
And please go easy on us. Go easy. Even if you disagree with any of our picks, just go easy. All right? Because no matter what, you could second guess every pick. But
there were gripes left and right.
All right. Take us to break, Vic.